Welcome to the Osceola Public Library's Cricut Guide. This guide will show you the basics of how to use our Cricut. Please note, this is not an in-depth training. This guide is required to watch at the library in person in order to use the Cricut. Before you start, take some time to look over the supplies provided and how the cart is organized. We ask that when you are done using the Cricut, everything gets put away where it belongs. Setting up the Cricut. Start by removing the cover of the Cricut. In the top drawer you will find both the power cord and the computer cord. These cords plug into the back of the Cricut. The computer cord on the left, and the power cord on the right. First with the power cord. Plug the round end of the cord into the Cricut, and the other end into a power outlet. Next with the computer cord, plug the square end into the Cricut, with the Cricut logo facing down. The USB end, or rectangle end, will plug into the computer, also Cricut logo facing down. On the front side, press the open button on the left, to open the Cricut. On the right is the power button and a dial. This dial tells the machine what material we will be cutting. For this video, we will be starting with cardstock. Cricut Design Space. Locate the Cricut Design Space on the desktop homepage. And select Sign In at the bottom of the screen. From here you can either sign in to your existing account, or create an account. This is the Cricut Design Space home screen. In the top right corner you will see, New Project, select that to get started. That will bring you to a new page called, Canvas. On the right side is where you can add elements to your canvas. For this project, we are going to select images. And since it is close to Halloween at the time of making this video, we are going to make a pumpkin. Some images cost money, but today we are looking for a free option. On the left side is a button to sort out the free images. Select the image you want, and click Add to Canvas on the bottom right. On the canvas you can decide the size you want to make your project. From here we can continue on to the cutting process. It will cut out the outer line and the center lines on one piece. However, I want to cut it out on two different pieces. First, I'm making a copy of my pumpkin. And then adding a shape to the canvas. The oval shape I selected is being placed where it covers any of the cutouts that I want cut separately. On the right, you can adjust the order in which items are layered. I do this to put the new shape to the back. That have both layers highlighted. Below the layers, select Splice. After it loads, delete any extra pieces you don't want. Now I have a perfect cutout of the center cut lines. Next, I will make the pumpkin solid. Repeat the exact same process as before. Instead of selecting Splice though, select Combine, then Unite. Now we're ready to make it. If it asks how to load materials, select on mat and the correct size of mat. We will come back to this in a minute. Cutting with the Cricut. First, we will need our supplies. In a drawer you can find a box of tools. There are two sizes of mats, 12 by 12 and 12 by 24. Today, we will be using the 12 by 12, as well as some cardstock. Remove the protective lining from the mat. Please do not lose this, it is used to keep the mats clean when not in use. Line up your paper using the grid printed on the mat and make sure it is laying smooth. You will want to make sure your material matches the grid on the Cricut app. When it is ready to be cut, take the mat to the machine. Make sure the mat is pushed tight against the rolling bars to ensure the mat is properly loaded into the machine. When ready, press the load button just below the dial. Here is a closer look at the load button. Here is what the Cricut app will look like during this process. It will walk you through each step, telling you what the material you have selected and what buttons to press. Once the mat is properly loaded, it will tell you to press the Go button, which will be flashing on the machine. Pressing Go tells the machine to begin cutting. If a problem should arise, the pause button on the right will stop the machine altogether. From here you can cancel the project if needed by pressing the load button. Pressing the pause button again will resume the cutting. The app will give you a progress update. Remove the mat by pressing the load button again. Now it's time to clean off the waste from our work, or also known as weeding, using many of the tools provided as shown. Now let us cut out some vinyl. Start with cutting your vinyl down to the size you need. You can verify that on the Cricut Design Space app. Please put away any unused vinyl to be used in the future. Place your vinyl piece on the mat. Make sure to line it with where the computer says the image is. Smooth your vinyl to the mat. Make sure the dial is set for vinyl. And repeat process. Load the mat into the machine and wait for it to cut. As an example, you can see that the design was cut past the vinyl. This is why it is important to make sure everything is the right size and lined up correctly. Begin weeding the scrap. Assembling your project for vinyl. The best way to assemble if using clear contact paper. Cut the contact paper to the size you need. Remove the backing and place over the already weeded vinyl. Make sure it is stuck to the vinyl. Slowly remove the contact paper, carefully lifting the vinyl with it. Grab the item you want the vinyl to go on and place the vinyl in the desired place. Then carefully remove the contact paper, leaving the vinyl behind. If the contact paper isn't too dirty, put the backing back on so it can be used again. Finishing. Be sure to remove any scrap material from your mat. Please do not scratch at the map as this could remove some of its stickiness. Place the protecting plastic back onto the mat. If you wish to save your project, you can select Save at the top of the canvas screen. It will open a pop-up, prompting you to select or create a folder to put it in. You can return to the home page by selecting the Home button in the top left corner. Sign out of Design Space if you are on a public computer and close the app. Unplug the Cricut, put away all tools and materials used back to their proper location, and put the cover back on the Cricut. Please help us keep the Cricut cart clean and organized. Thanks for watching.